I was just watching this podcast with this guy who wrote The Psychology of Money, and he was dropping some gems. He said an old man's keys to longevity. This is what this older guy told him. This really old man who's very successful. Because he asked him, he was like, what is your secret to getting to old age and being happy? Because they're correlating happiness with free time. Because what is success? They're trying to define wealth. I get there. So he said he gets a lot of outside time. A lot of the older people say that. He leaves the table when he's still a bit hungry. I remember Seinfeld used to say that is when he stopped his show, the ratings were still really high. The network wanted him to continue on. But he was like, always leave the audience wanting more. He didn't want to ruin his career like so many other people. And I remembered that. I was watching Seinfeld and Frasier when I was younger. Nothing ever bothers him. That was the number one thing that he said. And that resonated with me so bad. He said he just, no matter how stressful his work environment is, like maybe he might have a really difficult deal going on or just whatever happened in his life, he just didn't let it affect him. He was just chilling. He didn't get upset about it. And I'm like, girl, if you could adopt that into your own life, you would be a lot happier. I spend most of my day triggered by something. And regardless of whatever spiritual issues I have going on or mental health issues I have going on, I feel like I have a lot more control over my life and myself than I'm being led to believe by society. And they were talking about that too. They said the number one thing that causes people distress is feeling like they don't have control over their life. They don't have control over their time, their finances, or their future. And so when we're talking on a spiritual level about entities that think they run stuff down here, when you're talking about politics or whatever, and the fear matrix, they feed off of fear. So it would make sense for them to do things, these illusions that they put on the news and just all the stuff that they want you to be in a constant state of fear so they can feed off that. When really you have more control than they do. They just have the power to make it seem like they have control. But really, you have to empower something for it to have control, unless it's the Most High. Other than that, you don't. I don't know. I'm starting to see I do have a lot more control over things. Everybody has their own definition of success. Everybody has their own definition of wealth. For me, wealth is freedom, independence. When you say wealth to me, the first thing that pops up in my head is very, very clean, shiny fruit everywhere, like an abundance, a bounty of clean food. That's the first thing I think in my mind when you say wealth. Then I think of the water because, well, in this country anyway, some of the most expensive properties that I know of are near the water. And I know for me, when I'm wealthy, those are the things that I would invest in. Being more connected to nature, being able to have access to quality ingredients of cloth, of food, of places on earth. Having access to things that are very good quality. Things that everyone should have access to, but that's not how this little situation is set up. I think we live in hell. Be that as it may. Something has to give because I don't want to go through my life upset and triggered all the time. And it's not enough to just be like, oh, you have a mental health disorder. No, I don't want to hear that. That is starting not to resonate with me anymore. Almost to the point where like I don't even want to hear that. I'm focusing on the spiritual side of everything. Nothing that comes out of that system resonates with me. Not the medication, not the explanations, none of that. Because everything that looks like it's physical is really spiritual. It's just expressing itself in the physical. It's just expressing itself as avoidant personality disorder. But really, it's something else that keeps me safe. And if I keep looking at these spiritual sensitivities and gifts, I'm going to miss the value in having them. I see a lot of value in defects, because what is a defect to you, just like what is trash to you, could be treasure to me. It could be a benefit to me. What if being loud keeps me safe? I'm 4'11", girl, 5 feet on a good day. What if me being loud and dark and off-putting has saved my life? I'm pretty sure that it has. People don't play with me, and it's because of my energy. Something that in certain arenas may be seen as a defect, but no, I'm starting to look at these things as benefits. You know, a good prayer will trump a bad threat any day. So now that I've decided that I'm not going to let anything bother me anymore, how do I implement this into real life? The only way that I know how to do that is what I've been doing ever since January 6th. Just remembering that spirit takes care of everything. I'm not in charge of anything. I just always remember to lean on God. That's all that I have ever known. That's all that I do. Everything always works out, and it always has. So there's really no reason to worry about anything. And the whole rejection is protection, or rejection can also be redirection. So if something's happening to me, it's supposed to happen to me, so I don't need to trip over it. Even if it seems bad, if I look at it from a different perspective, it may be a benefit. Just look at it from a different perspective. What am I supposed to learn from this? So now when something happens, if I don't like it, it's not about your feelings. How many times have I said that to other people? It's not about your feelings. Follow the logic. So I need to start listening to my own self. Because I'm hard. I'm very hard on people when it comes to this being emotional and finding solutions and all that. Ain't no time for you to be emotional. Let's talk about the logic. So I'm about to just start looking at everything through a spiritual lens and remaining centered in my faith, because I am, and everything does always work out. Like, I'm not delusional. I'm delusional. It's like the worry and the fret is the delusional part, because you're worrying about stuff that hasn't even happened, and you're worrying about it so much that it does happen. So now you think you had some type of premonition, and it's just like a never-ending cycle. And I'm starting to see that now, the same patterns of dysfunction. So we've identified the pattern, we found a solution, and now it's implementation time. It's easy to say you want to change, but let's see what happens when them same patterns of behavior with your family happen next week, and you've decided you're not going to let anything bother you, but here your kid is doing something to trigger you. So are you going to remember that you decided nothing is going to get to you? I don't know. We're going to see. I'm going to try my best. I can only try. But I'm going to keep trying until I do it, because cycles just keep repeating until you learn your lesson. And I don't want my life cycle to keep repeating. I don't want to keep coming back here, bro. I want to evolve. I want to evolve. Because I can't give up. I'm already this far in. I'm almost 50. My kids will not let me say that. 43 is almost 50. I don't care. When I hit 50, I'm going to say I'm a half a century old. Honestly, once I've decided I'm going to do something, just like how I decided I am done and I'm fed up with these teenagers and I'm not finna repeat myself not one more time. It's the same with this. I've decided I'm not going to be stressed. Y'all not about to stress me out, because it's me stressing me out. It's me allowing myself to be stressed out by other things, which is lame. Very lame. It's not cute. It's not giving. So I'm just over it. I'm over being upset and I'm over being stressed. But I have a habit of falling asleep and waking up and totally forgetting that I've decided to change my life. So that's where this comes in. I love it, because this will always be there. And I can look at it when I go and check my YouTube channel every day. And it's like, remember? You said this. This is what we're supposed to be doing. And that's what I liked about this guy that wrote the book, The Psychology of Money. The guy that wrote that book, he was talking about his writing process. And we have the same philosophy when it comes to creation. He said basically when he writes, he doesn't pander to his audience. He's really writing for himself. And that's what I do. My songs, and that's why I don't rush to get in the studio, because it's my trauma. My songs are me purging my trauma. And it's for me. It's to empower me. It's to get out all the things that no one ever cared to hear or understand or connect with. It's me talking to myself and empowering myself. My music is medicine for me, and therefore if it's healing for me, it's got to be healing for someone else. That's why you don't see me in my comments asking, hey guys, what video do you want to watch? Like, no disrespect to people who do that. Like, that's okay for what you do, but for me, everything that I create is really for myself. is really, and then in me sharing is helping other people, so it's mutually beneficial. But it helps me stay accountable, it helps me try new things, it helps me express myself, it helps me like grow myself, parent myself, you know. And I love that, and that is true art, not asking people what they think you should be. I what? No, I'm not gonna do that. But if someone doesn't like something that you create, it's okay to form it in a way. It's like if I'm making a dish and I put too many spices in it and it's too spicy and my family's like, it was delicious but it was a little too hot, I don't have a problem the next time I make it using less spice. Now that I would do. But not, how do you guys think I should cook this dish? Like, no, you cook it in your unique way. And if it's a little too spicy for them, then maybe hold off on the spice a little bit. Or serve it only to people who really like spicy food. So, the takeaway for today is the keys to longevity, or some of the keys to longevity, according to that old man, was don't eat too much, get outside a lot, and don't let things get to you. And my add-on to that is the way to not let things get to you is to remember that things have always worked out, because they do. And that has to come from a relationship that you have with God. That's the only thing that I can say about that. Wish me luck. You think we can do it? Of course we can do it. We can do anything. Thank you for spending time with me here in Fury World. If you're interested in more videos about spirituality, mental health, or really good home-cooked food, check out my playlists. If you're interested in checking out my music, it's available on all music streaming platforms worldwide under my artist name, The Fury of Abyss. I love you, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.